Hi, Doc O'Leary here, head golf nut at docsgolftips.com and OHP Direct. Congratulations on signing up for my free game-changing golf mini clinic. In this series of video lessons, you'll see just how simple it is to gain a lot more respect on the golf course. You'll discover the easy way to reduce the power leaks in your swing, how to tap into your body's own natural swing engine for more power on every shot, get more distance off the tee, and the tricks to slashing serious strokes off your score. With access to the right tools, improving your golf swing, in fact, your entire game, is a lot easier than you may think once you understand a few key secrets. In this video lesson, we'll cover a critical element for producing a more powerful swing engine. It's all about a proper pivot, and we'll show you how to develop that using nothing more than a simple piece of rope. And because I've got deep connections in the golf world, I've managed to land one of the hottest golf instructors around to show you how it's done. He's a recent Southern California PGA Teacher of the Year and Horton Smith Award winner for his outstanding work and contributions to professional education. For over 20 years now, he's been the #1 choice of golfers in the know for teaching. PGA teaching professional, Bill McKinney. Take it away, Bill.
Thanks, Doc. Okay, what is a swing engine after all? Let's talk about the pivot. The pivot is the swing engine, and it starts right at the bottom of your feet, your spikes, and the ground where you're connected to the earth. Okay, lots of people think a pivot is just a shoulder turn. Well, your shoulders are arm, ball and socket joints, and they sit on top of your trunk, and your trunk turn is certainly a big part of your pivot, but it's not everything. It starts with your feet, gripping the earth, creating force, and working all the way up. So if your knees are part of your pivot too, your hips especially, we talk a lot about hip turn and all of this here. So when you watch someone swing who looks like they're just sort of using their arms, we've seen that swing a little too often out there on the driving range, and try not to look at those. What the swings we like to watch, the ones that work better, are much more body oriented, a full turn action. So from the feet, the knees, the hips, and the core. So you're turning your core. So that's a big thing. So we've got a good tool for you to experience what it's like to create speed without using your arms. Let's take a look. This is my towel. This is my towel drill. So you can put this under your arms. Now you'll see people doing this once in a while, and you think, well, they're trying to train themselves to lock their arms down. It's not so much that as learning how to make body action and make your pivot go faster. Better yet, we've got the rope drill. Let's take a look at the rope. All right. Now this is my favorite thing, because if you don't do it right, you actually get punished for it. And I think that's a good way to learn. So if you let it hang this way, and you use your body turn, no big deal. And you can see when it followed through, it landed very comfortably around my shoulders. It didn't hurt me at all. But if I happen to just use my arms, ow, it whacks you. So get a rope, and I highly recommend getting your body action to swing and turn. You can see that softly come around at the end and just rest around your shoulders there. One more look at it. Now the rope also has something to do with timing and tempo and rhythm. If you go too quickly, you just won't be able to do it. The rope takes a certain amount of time to hit, and it takes time to get going again. So let's see how that looks with my golf club. Okay. So same feeling. I feel like my body pivot is just dragging a rope around. The way a dog would wag his tail. So he'd have this tail there, and his body wags the tail, as opposed to the opposite, where lots of people are taught to have the tail wag the dog, right? And those are those golfers. We don't want to be like that. We want to be big pivoters, lots of pressure on the ground. It feels kind of slow, but it creates a lot of force. I'm going to give one of those a shot. Let me show you what that looks like with a club along with it. Okay. So if I don't do this right, and I pick my hands up, you can see the rope is just sitting there on the ground still. Or if I use my arms, it doesn't quite go with it. But the trick is getting them sort of together, and that's what rhythm is. It's kind of peculiar looking thing. You don't see a whole lot, but I tell you, once I get rid of the rope itself, it gives you the best feeling with your swing. You get a tremendously balanced feel, and it feels like the club's kind of heavy, and when you get that hit, it feels like impact lasts a long time. And that's when you know you've got control of this thing. So when you're using your hands like sort of just on their own, you don't get a whole lot of control. When you use your big muscles, your pivot, the earth, you get that long-lasting feeling impact. Now let's do one. Well, that felt great. Not sure if it comes across on your television, but the feeling is like it moves slowly and impact felt like it lasts a long time. So let's talk a little bit about speed. In fact, we call it false speed. False speed is club head speed that you're looking for created by your arms, and it's got no backup support from your pivot. So your arms get racing out ahead and you sort of get this look to it versus your body always pulling the way. And that's when you leave your arms just always a tick behind you. So in a sense, we play golf off to our backside. For me as a right-hander, my right side. So I'm always turning a little bit here. You can see it's not the club, we try to keep the club from passing over to my left side, which comes into conflict with my trunk here, and it ends up doing that. So if I don't have a decent pivot from the ground up, if my knees aren't leading, working through my feet, using my hips, and all these muscles in there, you know, they don't have to be tight, they've actually got to be free. And it doesn't have to be all that fast. It's not a flick, but it's a smooth, continuous flow. Let me grab the rope one more time and let's take a look at that. Again, this rope I got at the hardware store for about, under $2 and put a little bit of duct tape on here. And this will be a great little lineman aid for you. But this is the best use of this rope for you. You'll notice I need a little pause at the top of my backswing. So we know there are some great players that look a little bit smoother and heavier than others. Those are the swings we're trying to copy, and not the quick and tight ones. I'm not saying they're not good players, but just for the rest of us, it's much easier. It's going to be a much more repeatable, which is very important in golf, as we know, a repeatable swing to have our big muscles, to have rhythm, to have a heaviness and all the volume of a pivot. So it's core muscles. Your shoulders do something. They travel a lot, but again, ball and socket. So there's not a whole lot of lifting of this. It's much more of a turning. And look, it got up there. It's over my shoulder. Okay, so I mean, I wonder I could even try to hit a golf ball with this thing. Right down the middle. All right, go get yourself a rope. This is one of the best things you'll ever use. So thanks a lot. Again, I'm PGA golf professional Bill McKinney. Use this information out on the range, then out on the course, and I guarantee you're going to start hitting it a lot longer.